What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Deadball TV. We got the Champions League quarterfinals kicking off tomorrow. And rather than do the prediction video by myself, I brought on Nabhuto to join me in this video. We're going to be breaking down all the games, man. I appreciate you taking the time to hop on the channel.
Absolutely.
And I know that you dropped a video on your channel, which, guys, I will link in the description. Please go give him a subscribe. It makes really good content. But I purposefully, no offense, didn't watch it because I want to hear your predictions on this video.
Okay. Yeah. No worries. As a prediction king, I'll let you know, man.
Okay. All right. Let's see. They say you got the most powerful jinx on YouTube. So let's see what you're about to say.
Yeah. I might have screwed up my own team last time. Yeah.
Oh, did you? You picked Liverpool.
Dude, I picked PSG. I picked PSG before the first leg, and then PSG ended up losing. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm a jinx. So I'm like, no, I'm not a jinx. And then I'm like, all right, Liverpool, I'm feeling confident. And then they lost to Anfield. And it's like, oh, my fault, guys. Yeah. Honestly, it's not looking good.
That one's on you.
Yeah. But don't worry, this time, 100% correct.
Okay, well, I cannot wait. We're gonna see how both of us score. You guys will have to, bookmark this video, come back and clown us, as I know people like to do. And if you guys like videos about the Champions League, make sure you hit subscribe. Let's start with PSG versus Aston Villa, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, let's go. Let's run it.
Can I ask you, am I tripping if I say this is the most exciting quarterfinals game?
I think out of all of them, I think this is going to be the most entertaining in terms of like games to watch. I don't think the other games are going to be as entertaining as like attacking focus. Both of these guys got star power. I wouldn't say it's the most even, in my opinion, but I would definitely say it's the most entertaining, I think. Hopefully I didn't jinx that.
I'm guessing you think Bayern Inter is the most even? Okay.
When I made my prediction video, that was, but then there's a couple of injuries in there, but we'll get to that. Yeah,
we're going to get to that. I'm glad you said the injuries, because that's one of the reasons I think this PSG Aston Villa is exciting, is that nobody's hurt, right? Which is very rare for these quarterfinals. You have two managers who are both studs, and both teams are in great form coming into this, right? Like nobody's limping in, versus you look at like Arsenal, Real Madrid. We'll talk about later, bro. Those teams are like, it's hospital FC. That's what it's the hospital derby. That's what I call the game.
Exactly. Yeah. Arsenal just can't stop getting injuries, man.
No, just can't. I mean, neither can Real Madrid. So
true.
I don't even know if that game's going to be a good reflection of the true strength of both sides. But I want to ask you, for specifically PSG Aston Villa, how do you see this game going down?
Yeah, I mean, look, it would be cool to see Villa in a Champions League semifinals, history and whatnot and everything like that. But I feel like PSG, like Aston Villa have not beaten Liverpool at all this season, and PSG have done that. You know what I mean? And I think PSG just have that upper hand, man. They got that quality everything's just working for PSG right now. You know what I mean? Like everything is just clicking for these guys. And, I wish it wasn't that way, because it would have been nice to see Liverpool there. But yeah, I mean, everything's going good. Ousmane Dembele is somehow making a Ballon d'Or push in the big 2025. Like, I don't know how the hell that came about, but there's that. I mean, there's so many top players. Desiree Doué, I think that's how you pronounce his name. This guy's a baller.
Desiree Doué, I think.
Yeah. Desiree Doué. Yeah, this guy reminds me of like flashes of Neymar. I love Neymar. So I think, Kvaratskhelia is up there. Liverpool were actually into him too, but, PSG took him. And
RIP.
Yeah, RIP. But PSG, they're just too good, man. They're just too good. It sucks for Villa that they have to face PSG, in the last 8. It sucked for us too to face PSG in the round of 16, but I think they're just a good side. I think they're going to go far. I don't think Villa will have what it takes to stop them, I'm afraid, even though they play the home leg in second. Yeah.
Do you think if Villa lose this tie, that it was still a successful Champions League for Aston Villa?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think they're going to look back and be like, oh my God, we disappointed. Yeah, it sucks to go out when this is like your first Champions League campaign in forever. And you're probably not going to get Champions League next season. I would doubt it personally. They were not in a good position. They're not. I think they're like 6th in the Premier League right now. And I think before
it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. They're not going to. I don't think they'll make Champions League. So it's going to be their first one in a while, and it might be their only one for also a while as well. So it sucks to see them. Their fans are going to probably be bummed out, but like it's still a good campaign. Like they finished in the top 8, secured automatic a ticket to the round of 16. even though they got a bit lucky facing Club Brugge, whatever, they still beat who was in front of them. And I mean, I think this is as far as you could expect them to go. I think, in my opinion.
So obviously Liverpool won the first leg against PSG in the round of 16.
Right.
Do you know PSG's last loss before that Liverpool game?
I know they're beaten in the league, so it can't be in the league. It was sometime last year? Was it not this season?
It was Christmas.
Oh, Champions League. I forgot what Champions League. Yeah.
They lost Christmas Day or a couple of days before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane, dude. So they've lost one game in 2025. Yeah. Aston Villa, though. How many games do you think Aston Villa have lost in 2025?
Like 4, 5.
Very close. 3 games.
3 games. Okay.
That's pretty crazy.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty crazy run of form.
Yeah.
And I think they got 7 wins in a row in all comps heading into this game. They haven't lost since February. So that's what I'm saying. Both of these teams, man, they're coming in here. It's looking like, I don't know, Spider-Man versus Doc Ock or something. I think it's actually going to be a really exciting fixture.
I love the Unai Emery, Marco Asensio storyline too. Like just like visiting your old club. Whew. That's gonna be a fire storyline to keep an eye on. But yeah, my prediction. As a prediction goat, I can't confirm that it's gonna be PSG, man. I would be very surprised if Aston Villa pulls it off. I would welcome the surprise. I'm not gonna be mad about it, but I think PSG, they're just too good. I think it's close enough to be their year.
I would say as a Liverpool fan, you probably want PSG to win because if Aston Villa beat them, you guys look extra bad.
Yeah, we would look terrible. I think I like seeing new teams progress far, which is why I wouldn't be too upset with Aston Villa being in the semifinals because I don't think they're going to win it regardless. But I would want PSG to go farther. I don't know if I want them to win Champions League just because I have my own personal agenda. But
okay,
yeah.
What is that agenda? Who does that agenda want to win?
It's a little too soon for PSG to win the Champions League since Neymar left. You know what I mean? It has to be a few more years before that, because then all of a sudden.
Are you a Neymar simp?
Yeah. I love Neymar.
I respect it. I mean, that ain't a bad player to choose. Okay, all right. So it's gonna look bad on your boy if PSG go ahead and win. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what's happening here. Yeah. All right. Now, can you give me a score line? Let's see how good your predictive powers are. Let's give a score line here. So you got PSG.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say first leg, PSG's playing at home. I'm gonna give it a nice 2-1. Nice 2-1 to PSG. Okay. Yeah. And I think away from home, I'm gonna go one step further. I think Marco Asensio scores for Aston Villa 1-0, and it goes to extra time. But then the game will end 1-1. PSG, someone will score in their attacking front, and then PSG will go through. So 1-1 second leg.
Okay, so you're going 3-2 AG PSG.
Yeah. 3-2 AG.
All right. I'm going 5-2.
Wow. You expect PSG to score a lot of goals.
Let me make the argument very quickly.
Yeah.
I think Aston Villa, while they're having a good season, not amazing, but a good season, when they lose pretty hard, bro. I'm looking at some of the L's on the schedule. 4-1 Tottenham, 4-1 Palace, 3-0 Newcastle, 3-0 Chelsea. Mm-hmm. They don't lose very often. I told you they haven't lost since February. But it's like when plan A doesn't work, it goes really south. Yeah. And being the underdog in this team, I think that's already going to disadvantage them.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought up Liverpool because I think Liverpool are probably the most similar team stylistically to PSG that Villa has faced. And Villa hasn't been able to beat them. Now, they did get a draw against Liverpool 2-2 in the last game, I want to say.
Yeah,
but PSG is a different level right now, and I just don't think Villa's ready. And I think it's going to be too much, dude. I'm expecting PSG to perform very well both home and away. Even Villa, bro, I'm not sure their home stadium is that scary. I feel like the Brugge fixture kind of flattered them a little bit.
Oh, yeah, the red card definitely helped with that. But The only counter argument I would give to this is I feel like this is Aston Villa's final in my eyes. This is like, we're going to give it our all in this game. Everything's going to be up for this game. And usually when I think of high scoring game, it usually ends up being the opposite. So I'm just like, keep it nice, a little simple, and just say it's low scoring. I think Aston Villa is just going to do everything in their power. Like, just give it their all, basically. This is their cup. This is.
Can I counter to that?
Yeah.
I think it's PSG's final too.
Oh yeah, Champions League is always PSG's final. You know what I mean? This is what they want, but usually they don't end up doing too well. Yeah, they already won it last weekend. Yeah. So this is PSG's final, but it's been PSG's final. Champions League has been PSG's final for like 7-8 years now. So it's like, this is not. Although they have new players, for the club itself, this isn't like a new situation they're in. But for Aston Villa, this might be the first time we're ever going to be here for a while. So we're going to go 110%. But PSG might be like, yeah, I mean, this is the final, but we'll also be in next year's final too, because I don't see PSG going anywhere with the new squad they've made. So
all right, so we have different predictions for how the tie is going to go down, but we're both going PSG. Let's go to your quote most even fixture in the quarterfinals: Inter Milan versus Bayern Munich. The injuries for Bayern not looking that good for those of you, listening or watching. Alphonso Davies, Upamecano, Hiroki Ito. I saw Musiala got injured recently. Kim Min-jae's playing with one Achilles tendon. How big of a concern is that for Bayern Munich?
Very. A huge concern, because when I made my prediction video and I said Bayern Munich, spoiler, I said Bayern Munich will go through. That was like my so-called upset. I really thought Bayern was going to do it, but that was before Alphonso Davies got injured with Canada, and this is before Jamal Musiala is now out for like 6 to 8 weeks. And these are like, Alphonso Davies has been huge in the Champions League knockout stages this season. He scored against Leverkusen. He scored the winner against Celtic. And Jamal Musiala is one of the best players in the world in my eyes. So you lose those two key players, along with the other injuries like Upamecano, who's honestly had like a pretty decent season. Like, he's at like, everyone will highlight his mistakes because he just makes them. But like, other than the mistakes, he's been pretty all right. Like, he does the job well. So it's just not looking too good. The reason why I said Bayern would go through in my video is I just think there's some supernatural superpower. Munich, the finals there. Bayern want to desperately be in there. I could definitely. Last time it was in Munich, Bayern were in the final. So it's like all of a sudden I see the storylines in my head, and I'm like, okay, Bayern can do it. They can make the final. They almost lost to Celtic, but I didn't see them go. I didn't see them making it through against Leverkusen, but they did it very convincingly, like 5-0 in aggregate. So
you thought Leverkusen were going to win?
I thought Leverkusen was going to win. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a shootout, Bayern win, but dude, they stomped Leverkusen.
Yeah. They absolutely.
That was an ass
I did not expect that at all. I was like in shock. I put a lot of stock in Leverkusen. I was a little bit let down. But I still believed in Bayern. The injuries, though, and Inter's already a good side. I said this too before. If you watch my channel, you would know. But I said that if Inter didn't get knocked out by Atletico on penalties last year, they would have gone far in the Champions League. I still believe that. So, and the year before that, they were in the final. So I think Inter Milan are a very good side. They were done a little bit unluckily last season, but now I think they do also have the ability to go very far. And their squad, I think, is a little bit healthier. I don't know whether Lautaro Martinez is going to be back. I don't know whether Okay, yeah. So if he's back, Marcus Thuram's been balling out. Their entire squad looks good. I'm not really sure about Taremi. Who really cares about that? But yeah.
Iranians are furious in the chat.
I don't even know why I'm like so against Iran, but like ever since the World Cup, it's like now I gotta put my hater cap on. You know what I mean? But
you won, bro. You got the
I know. There's too much hate in my heart.
You're petty. You're petty.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, there's too much chatter on Twitter back in that day, and I remember that. But
that fan base deserves some smoke, so I'm not gonna stop you. Go ahead.
Yeah. But
Denzel Dumfries might miss the game, though. I saw he might miss it, or at least the first leg. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that, but even without Dumfries, I mean, I feel like Bayern's injuries are they might cost them, but I really wouldn't be surprised if they go through, just because I don't know, man. Munich storylines, it just makes sense in my eyes.
Yeah,
but
I feel like Bayern are a little scary too in the Champions League.
yeah,
Right? It's like that German engineering. You just don't want to go up against that, even if they're missing players. It's still kind of a daunting team.
Especially Harry Kane. I think he's on fire. I know he's got. I know he scored like a couple penalties in the last tie, but even besides that, he was good.
Dude, he's a beast. He's a top 5 Ballon d'Or contender for me personally.
He
but
is. Yeah,
maybe I'm just a Spurs simp. All right, I'm gonna break it down like this, and you push back on anything. Okay, bold case for Bayern Munich. They destroyed Leverkusen in the round of 16. 5-0 on Ag was not even a contest. It was probably the most boring tie, actually. This is Bayern's sole focus because they got the Bundesliga pretty much wrapped up too. Not like PSG wrapped up, but like pretty wrapped up. Inter Milan, bro, the Serie A title race that's coming down to the last day. They can't take their foot off the gas there. I'm going to say this maybe contentiously. Less pressure. I think they have less pressure to win than Inter Milan from the footballing universe. I think people consider Inter the favorites. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely consider Inter the favorite. 100%.
Okay. Yeah. And that's kind of the end of my bull case for Bayern.
So you think they might
be playing? Yeah.
You think Bayern's going to pull off the upset from what I've heard?
Oh no, my bull case for Inter. Let me do that one though.
Okay.
Way better manager. Like Inzaghi clears company in 4. Way fewer injuries. They're way deeper in the cycle, meaning company just got there and he's still like, they're doing well in a Bundesliga where everybody's been super mid, but there's still clearly some growing pains with this team and what company wants to implement versus Inzaghi's kind of got Inter firing almost robotically at times. And I just think they have the better team of the available players right now. I think a healthy Bayern is more talented, but they ain't healthy. I just read you the 9 injuries that they have or whatever. So what's your prediction? Give me a score on this one too.
Okay. I think I'm slightly doubting my original prediction, but I'm going to stick to it. So I'm going to balls to the wall. I'm going to stand on business. I'm saying that Bayern, they win the first leg. Damn, this is hard, man. It's like I don't even believe in my prediction anymore. I'm going to say 2-0.
You got to stand on it.
2-0, first leg. 2-0.
Okay.
Harry Kane, brace. Second leg.
All right. I like it so far.
I'm going to just play conservative for this one. I'm going to say Inter wins the second leg 1-0 at home, and it's just not enough.
I'll be honest, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any shame at all in picking Bayern. I still think they could easily win this tie.
Yeah. That's why it's the most 50-50 for me.
Yeah.
But with the injuries, it's just a little – I'm not as confident as I was 2 weeks ago.
Right. I think for Bayern too, dude, they have the best individual players in this tie. Like Thuram, good player. Lautaro, very good player. Harry Kane's better than both of them. Like, it's just a fact. Michael Olise, he's the best winger in this matchup, right? Joshua Kimmich, is he the best midfielder in the tie? There's an argument for that. I think Barella has a really good shout. Çalhanoğlu's just somehow, I feel like he's getting better every single year. So if you made a combined 11, I still think there might even be hold on. I don't know about a combined 11, but if you rank the top like 7 players, it'd probably be 5 Bayern guys, 2 Inter. But then Inter would like round out the top 10, right? Like after the Bayern star power runs out, it's like Inter. So they have a shot, man. They really do. I got Inter 3-2.
Okay.
I think it's going to be very close. Very close.
What do you think what the first leg result will be? Because I'm assuming you're saying
I'm kind of thinking 1-1.
1-1, okay.
Oh, sorry. In Munich, I think it's going to be a 1-1. And then I think Inter win 2-1 at home.
Okay.
When it comes back to Italy.
Yeah. I can see it. Inter, This is definitely the tie that's the most tricky to me. The most tricky to call.
Yeah.
I would say.
I think so too. I got one random fun fact and then we'll move on. I was looking at Inzaghi's record in the Champions League. He's got 1 win, 3 losses in his 4 games against German sides with Inter Milan. I don't know what that means. I'm just saying he's got 1 win, 3 losses in 4 games. So you might be cooking something with that Bayern Munich.
All of a sudden, I might look like a genius.
I mean, bro, you picking Leverkusen, that was ballsy. That was really ballsy on that one.
I was stating on business for that one too. I wasn't shy about it. I was really like, Leverkusen in the bag. But sometimes we all make mistakes.
You were standing on the shoulders of Florian Wirtz.
Yeah, and failed to deliver a little bit, but it's fine. You know what I mean?
Hey, he missed the second leg, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. But I think if it was second leg, Leverkusen would have taken that.
You're right. They would have won 5-1.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's move on to Real Madrid versus Arsenal. I'm just going to let you take it from the jump. What you think goes down here?
Yeah, man. Arsenal don't got it. Yeah, they don't got it. Hey, Max, if you're watching. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, it's not happening. Yeah, no chance. I highly doubt it. Honestly, bro, this is the time I'm the most confident on. So if Arsenal wins this, I'm gonna look like the biggest goofball on the internet for a couple days. But like, I don't see it at all. Like in my head, when I'm envisioning, like, maybe we could see like a Barcelona PSG final, or like we could see like a El Clasico final, stuff like that. Arsenal for me is not even in my imagination. That's how checked out I am of this club. I just don't think they're going to get past Madrid. Maybe that's because I rate Madrid's, history with the Champions League. It's just their competition. Like, even though, they're not the best. They literally like just lost this past weekend to Valencia. Like, they're not that great. But in the Champions League, I feel like these guys, like, they just find a way. Like, even against Atletico, they were not good in the second leg, in my opinion.
No.
Vinicius was terrible. But somehow, some way, even though, a little sus decision had to be made, they still got the job done. And I think it was Llorente's penalty got saved. That still had to be saved by Courtois. I think it hit the crossbar actually, but still penalty missed. But I mean, Real Madrid they just always find a way. And like, especially with Gabriel out now, I think they're done. I know Bukayo Saka's back. I still don't see it. Like, I just don't see it.
Yeah, the Gabriel Magalhaes injury really kind of screwed the upset potential, in my opinion, for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Right? Like, with him, you could have easily said Arsenal win 1-0 at home, take it back to Madrid, and just lock it down. But even then, I'm not sure if that would have worked, because in my opinion, the way to beat Real Madrid is to attack Real Madrid. I think that's why Atleti didn't win, because I like Atleti, just kind of sat back and didn't really go for it when we had them on the back foot. To encourage Arsenal fans, as a guy who watches Real Madrid every single weekend, this is the most beatable Real Madrid probably in the last decade. Like, this defense is trash. And a lot of times, Mbappe, he's actually probably been the most consistent, I would say. Sometimes Rodrigo doesn't have it. Vinicius doesn't have it quite often recently. They're trying to plug Fede Valverde all over the pitch to try to make him, cover for some glaring hole with the team. But wherever he goes, the problem is somewhere else. They're not invincible. This is not Real Madrid from like 6 years ago, prime Ronaldo. This is far, far from that edition of the team. So even though Arsenal are injury ravaged, like I said, hospital derby, Real Madrid are ravaged too. And they got some bad players that are going to have to get minutes in this game, mainly Lucas Vazquez. And I guess Fran Gonzalez, their third string goalkeeper, I think is going to start at least the game in the Emirates. And for those who didn't watch the game, he had 0 saves and they conceded 2 goals and lost to Valencia at home in La Liga. So there is a chance. I'm not sure if I don't have the most conviction in this one. I do think Real Madrid are going to win because I just think their attack is way better. And I think they have more ways to hurt Arsenal. But I'm going to go 3-1 Real Madrid in this game. I think it's going to be low scoring. Do you agree, or do you think we're going to see a shootout?
No, there's not going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think 3-1 is probably a good result. I think that's a result I could probably agree with. I also agree with you that this definitely does seem like the weakest Real Madrid team in recent years. I just don't think that this Arsenal is going to be the ones to take them out. You know what I mean? I don't know whether I would say Real Madrid are a favorite of mine to win the Champions League. I don't know if I'm confident in saying that. But regarding this tie specifically, I just don't think Arsenal have the business. Now, if I get proven wrong, I'm going to look like a clown, and it'll just look bad on me. But I just don't see it. It's just not. I don't see it. A 3-1 Real Madrid.
I would be very surprised. Well, let me delete the very. I would be surprised if Arsenal won this. The key to me, you got to win at the Emirates, and you probably got to win by 2. If they win by 2 at the Emirates, I think they get it done. I don't think Real Madrid comes back in the Bernabeu. But that 2, where the goals coming from? No Havertz, no Jesus. Who's scoring the goals? Martinelli's going to have a masterclass.
That's not happening. Definitely. Martinelli's not having that.
It's a big ask for them. So you think it's more likely that Dortmund upsets Barcelona than Arsenal upset Real Madrid?
They're both very unlikely. I'm going to sound crazy for saying this. The only reason why I would say there's a higher chance that Dortmund could do it is just because of their last year's Champions League campaign. If they didn't have that, I would definitely not be thinking that Dortmund can pull it off. But last year they beat Atletico Madrid when I wasn't expecting them to. They beat Atletico. Then they beat PSG. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. They also beat PSG when I wasn't expecting them to. I was fully expecting a Mbappe versus Real Madrid final. Mbappe loses, and then he pulls a Kevin Durant and joins the winners. That's the storyline I wanted to see. But it didn't happen because Dortmund ended up winning. So that's the only reason why I would say there's a higher chance that Dortmund does it. But also, I'm biased. Like I'm a Liverpool fan, and Arsenal are still technically in the title race with us, so I don't want to see them do well. So I just don't see it. Like I think Real Madrid. Maybe it's because Liverpool just continuously gets owned by Real Madrid almost every year. So all of a sudden, like the fact that Real Madrid continuously owns us, I feel like they have to own Arsenal at that point too. We lost them in 2 finals. We lost them in like a quarterfinals a few years back, I think, or it might have been around 16. We also lost them in the round of 16 last year, I think, or 2 years back, when Vinicius dunked on us and Benzema did too, 5-2 at Anfield.
Damn, okay.
Yeah,
I never connected those dots before.
Yeah, I'm a little traumatized. So maybe I'm just like projecting my trauma to Arsenal fans right now. Maybe I want them to receive some of that, just so they know the pain. But I don't know. I don't think Arsenal have it, especially with the injuries. Like they just got too much.
Yeah, but those Real Madrid injuries too are really bad. So I'm just, man, I think if you attacked Real Madrid, if you're Arsenal, you would honestly win the game. But unfortunately, Mikel Arteta is your manager, and you're not going to attack, and therefore I think Real Madrid win. Switching to Barca Dortmund, I can also put this fixture very simply, in my opinion. I think Barcelona are the second best team in Europe behind PSG, and I cannot see them losing over 2 legs to this Dortmund side. And I think if Dortmund win this tie, I don't care what happens the rest of the Champions League. If Dortmund wins this tie, it is the upset of the UCL. Period, 100%, in my opinion. Like I don't think anything will be more. This season. We'll look back at this season and be like, do you remember when Barcelona were unstoppable and they lost to Dortmund in the quarterfinals, who were 9th in the Bundesliga or whatever it is? I think this is the upset if Dortmund get it done. More so than Arsenal beating Real Madrid.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. I can see that. Especially just like not just going off like how Dortmund have performed. They've been shocking in the Bundesliga, like terrible. I think if Dortmund want to win against Barcelona, they have to start Gio Reyna. I think he's the key.
What kind of 4D chess are you trying to play right now?
I think Gio Reyna needs to start.
Bro, did Mauricio Pochettino pay you to say this on this podcast? Like, are you getting paid by U.S. Soccer? What do you mean Gio Reyna needs to start?
Hey, Poch, I've done the business.
What kind of propaganda is this? Oh, my God. You've been talking to tactical manager, bro. That's insane right there. Are you being serious? Gio Reyna needs to start.
No, man. I think there's like a likelier chance that Dortmund beats Barcelona than Gio Reyna starts for Dortmund in this game, bro. Respectfully, of course. Sorry, in all
With the
seriousness.
utmost respect.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
In all seriousness, I'm Dortmund. It's not looking too good, bro.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Honestly, man, when I was really trying to make the bull argument for Dortmund. And I think the entire case is they've been way better in the UCL than the Bundesliga. And honestly, my second and final talking point is the entire world is expecting Barcelona to destroy them. Like I haven't seen that many other predictions from other creators, but the ones I've seen on Twitter, people are picking like a one-sided affair that's basically done and dusted after the first leg.
Yeah.
And that's kind of scary. Whenever I see the whole footballing world be like, this team's going to win, I'm like, hold on now. It's like U.S. fans against Panama. Everyone's like, U.S. is going to beat them. I'm like, well, hold on now. Hold on now. Panama got some players. Dortmund got some players. That's what scares me. I feel like we have too much expectation on Barcelona now.
Yeah. I think Dortmund have two things, in my opinion, that go on for them. I think the first thing is, I know there's not the same players. There's a good amount of them are the same, but some players have left, like Jadon Sancho. But I think you just have to look at last year's campaign. Nobody expected Dortmund to make the final, and they did against like good teams. Like they beat Atletico Madrid and they beat PSG, and then Mbappe PSG. I think this PSG is better, but like still that PSG team was still pretty good. So I think they have to look at last year's Champions League campaign. Like, yeah, we can do it, but also I think Barcelona and Dortmund already faced against each other this season, and Barca beat them at Signal Iduna Park 3-2.
Yes.
But the one thing that Dortmund fans or Dortmund can look at this game at is before Ferran Torres came in, Dortmund were looking like the winners. They looked pretty good apart until Ferran Torres came on the pitch, and I think he scored a brace. So it's like, I think if they just look at that and be like, yo, we were in the lead at one point in this game. We could do it again, even though this is the Barcelona that everyone expects to go on and win the Champions League. So it's like, that's probably the only two things I can say for Dortmund. They also have like Girassi, who's been like one of the top goal scorers in the Champions League this season. I don't know if he's the first one, but he's like up there, top 3, I think. But
he's got double-digit goals, right?
Yeah, I think he's
many,
got 10. Yeah,
10 or 11. Yeah,
10 or
like
11.
that.
Yeah, something like that. That's probably the only things I can't say for Dortmund. Like, that's why I think that there's a chance just because of recent history, but also it's like Barcelona looking good. You know what I mean? I don't know whether I want to see Barca win the Champions League because that ruins my own propaganda, my own agenda. That I want to see Mo Salah win the Ballon d'Or, even though it's looking very unlikely. And I think if Barca
that
wins
man
the
don't
Champions
deserve
League,
the Ballon d'Or, bro.
Yo, chill on my goat, man. Chill.
Absolutely not, dude. Oh my god.
Yo, chill,
I haven't seen him since the PSG second leg, bro.
Yo, chill on my Egyptian king, man. All the Egyptians are coming after you for that one. But
yeah, bro. I put a lot of respect on them during AFCON time, but Mo Salah right now, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's time to go.
Whoa! That's a whole different topic. Let's get
that is a whole different topic.
Yeah,
that's a separate video. Hit subscribe.
Yeah, hit subscribe for sure. But yeah, like I was saying, like I think Barcelona have the tools. They got the players. I love Lamine Yamal. I think when I watch him play, he's like I get flashbacks to Neymar, and y'all probably know by now I'm a Neymar simp. So I like this Barca side. I think they're gonna do it pretty convincingly in my head. But like I said before, I think if Dortmund pulls this off, I personally think it's less of an upset compared to when Arsenal will pull it off. Arsenal fans are gonna get mad at that one, but yeah.
I just think Madrid are like their aura precedes them and flatters how good they are right now. Like I really think a lot of people don't watch La Liga as much as other leagues because it's not that popular. I mean, they're just, bro, I'm telling y'all, they're not that good. Like, they're a good side, but they're not invincible. I look at Barcelona, and I'm like, yo, nobody's hanging with these guys right now. So if Dortmund did it, granted, I only watch them in the Champions League. I don't watch them in the Bundesliga. I think it would be freaking massive. And I got Barca 5-2 on Ag in this one.
Ooh. I would realistically, I think it's going to be 4-1, 4-2 to Barca. I wouldn't
Okay.
say 5. I'd say 4-1, 4-2. But like I said before, I think Dortmund have that secret weapon, and I think if they utilize that secret weapon, they can do the business for sure.
That's Girassi is the secret weapon?
Nah, it's Gio Reyna.
Oh, Jesus, Girassi.
Sorry.
Yeah, utilize him in the locker room because that's where he should stay, bro. That man should not see the pitch. You put that man, if I see Gio Reyna in the starting lineup, I'm like, oh, Barca 3-0 today. And then I don't even need to watch the game. I just flip on over to the other match.
I'd say Dortmund 1-0, Gio Reyna goal. But
I mean, hey, he needs that. Reyna needs that right now.
He needs something.
He needs
anything.
Something, dude. God damn. All right. Let's conclude with some very quick questions that I have, and then we'll wrap up the episode. Number 1, who do you think is the young player to watch from any team in the quarterfinals? Who's like one young guy you'd be like, I'm curious to see what he does?
Okay. Good question. The obvious answer has to be Lamine Yamal. You know what I mean? I'm going to give another name, but
okay,
Lamine Yamal is obviously everyone's going to keep their eye on him. I think he's just, when I watch Lamine Yamal play, man, it puts a smile on my face. You know what I mean? It's just like, this guy he gets it. He knows football.
Yeah.
He loves the game. And that's why I like Lamine Yamal. I like Due, though. I think he's probably the guy I'm watching because he had that cold moment against my club. Cole Palmer did all that. The cameras were all pointing at him. Everyone saw him dunking on my club. So I think there's going to be more attention on him to see what he does in this time. I'm not sure whether he'll start or not, but I think to see what he can do against Aston Villa, respectfully, isn't as good of a side as Liverpool. So I feel like he would have more chances on the ball and like have more chances of like getting by players, etc., just to showcase his skill. So I think I would probably say him, probably him out of all players.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say Miles Lewis-Skelly from Arsenal.
Okay, yeah. That was my third name.
Because I kind of want to see what he does against Real.
I
want to see if he puts in a shift. If he puts in a proper shift against Rodrigo or Brahim Diaz, because I don't trust Arsenal fans about anything. Like they could tell me the direction to the grocery store, I wouldn't believe them. They would say it's on the left, it's actually on the right. So I need to like form my own opinions of their youth players with my own eyes. And I think he's been solid. I'm just not buying that he's like the next GOAT, right?
I agree.
For me to take a step in that direction, I need to see two good games from him because it's going to be a big ask. So he's mine.
Yeah. I think that was literally going to be my third. If I couldn't pick Due, I would pick Miles Lewis-Skelly. I also think he's had a good, solid season. For me, it's not like a world-class season. Like he's not putting up like, I know he's a left back, so I'm not saying Lamine Yamal numbers, but he's not having that effect of like that superstar kid coming through in my eyes, at least. He's having a good season though, but nothing crazy. I also want to see him like just not get a red card too. So I think
yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good if he didn't get a red card.
Yeah.
That's probably a personal objective for him. Don't get a red. Don't sink my team's chances of progressing. Yeah, it'd be great. Well, so if Miles Lewis-Skelly doesn't get a red card, massive dub from the quarterfinals. You heard it here first, folks. It's funny you said Desiree Doué. I was gonna go Bradley Barcola or Barcola from PSG.
Yeah. That's also a good name.
Like great, like you liked how the name sounds.
Oh yeah, that too. But I mean, like that's a good name to point out. Yeah,
that was like you name your son Bradley. Okay,
I just like Doué more just because Neymar simp. He just reminds me of Neymar a little more. But yeah,
he is more of a Neymar regen.
Yeah, and his hair looks like Neymar too a little bit from back in the day.
Valid. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Next question. Is there a star that you think is going to struggle in the quarterfinals?
A star that I think is it obvious if I just go for Vinny?
No, you can take the layups here. I know.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if you're a hot take merchant like me, but you can take the layups if you want.
I have a hot take too, but I think I'll probably be proven wrong. But
okay, Vinny against Arsenal.
Yeah, I'd say Vinny. I don't think he's a bad player by any means. No one does, but like just recently, like he's just like in the Champions League, he's just not been that good. That I didn't watch the game against Valencia, but from what I've heard, he's not been that good. And I saw that penalty
Did
miss.
nothing.
Hey, he's got to owe 50 euros to Mamardashvili still. Pay my goalkeeper, man.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I don't know.
yeah, he's just not been that good. I think in terms of, I actually talked to someone who's a massive Mbappe fan, and she told me that she fully believes that Mbappe will become like the face of Real Madrid. This is months ago, like when he was having a bad season, and like I was like, bro, you're tripping. Like this is Vinicius' team. This is his team. He's the face of Madrid. And I think in the past few months, I've been proven wrong. I think Mbappe is slowly emerging as, yeah, when people think of Real Madrid, they're thinking of me. You know what I mean? That's what I think Mbappe is slowly getting into that category. Well, I think Vinicius is slowly being shoved out of it, and his performances aren't really helping either. Like, I don't remember seeing a performance that's wowed me since like Borussia Dortmund in the group stage where he got a hat trick or something. So
Yeah.
I think for me, I don't think he's gonna do much against Arsenal. Luckily for him, he's got superstars by his side that I think will do the job. But for me, I don't know if Vinicius himself is going to do it.
Him versus Ben White will be an interesting battle.
Very interesting.
And
Ben White likes to get
I'm
in your
not
face.
sure he does. I'm just wondering, like, the speed and athleticism with Ben White being like pretty limited recently. Like, he's always got a little knock as well. That'll be fun to watch. I really think the Arsenal fullbacks versus the Real Madrid wingers is going to be exciting. I like the answer. And yeah, we've talked about that a lot on Lengua de la Liga show here about Vinicius fading out. So I won't go into that anymore. There's plenty of videos out on that. I'm going to go with a bit of a dark horse star, but a star, Julian Brandt from Dortmund. I think he's going to have a rough 180 minutes against that Barca midfield, man, because that Benfica midfield, which is pretty good, got shredded. Even down a man, they still got shredded. Like, I've never seen anything like that in my life. So I think Julian Brandt, he's been a creative beast this season. I think he's going to really have a hard time against either Pedri, Gavi, and I don't know if Castello's going to start or Frankie de Jong, but that Barca midfield, nobody's been able to touch them. Real Madrid's midfield has gotten ran over by the Barca midfield, 3 times already this season?
Yeah. Twice? I don't know.
Maybe twice.
Every time they faced, they got destroyed.
Every time they
For me, I didn't consider in my head Brent was a star. Like, now I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a good player. Yeah. But for me, when I think star, he's not on my list. But
you're saying I cheated.
No, not cheated. I just think our definitions are a little bit different.
Okay.
I was thinking superstar.
Okay, you think it's superstar. All right, superstar. Yeah. Who's a superstar that's not going to do well? I'm just going to say this name, Declan Rice.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's going to struggle, but I am very excited for Declan Rice versus Jude Bellingham.
That's a good matchup right there.
I'm ready for this. That's a great matchup. So
yeah,
I don't think Declan's going to get cooked, but he's like a star that I look at and be like, bro, if you don't have a good game, not even good, if you aren't exceptional, your team's going to lose.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's gonna be one to watch. All right, last question here. Which manager do you think is going to walk away from the quarterfinals looking the best, getting the most flowers?
Okay, if my predictions are correct, which I'm sure they are, because I'm a 100% prediction goat. I would say, I think. It might be a cop-out answer, but I think Luis Enrique is going to look the best if he comes out with the W. Not just
you think beating Villa is enough for that?
It's just like, for me, in my head, there's only 2, maybe 50-50 ties. For me, Bayern Inter is the most 50-50. I think the second would be PSG Aston Villa. So I think Barca should be Dortmund. I think Real Madrid should be Arsenal in my head. So I don't think the managers are going to get that much applause for that. I think the next one will be Luis Enrique. I just think his PR is doing overtime right now. I've been seeing videos of him talking about, RIP, his daughter and everything. And it just makes me want to root for him more. And the fact that we're already, there's a lot of fans, even when Liverpool lost, I was seeing on Liverpool Twitter's even though we lost, I want to see Luis Enrique do well. If PSG win the Champions League, I'll be happy. Just because, his story is, it makes it's hurtful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely something that you could feel, and like, and that's why I think like with his PR already working overtime, and if PSG beats Villa, which I personally would expect them to, I just think he's already looking the best in my opinion, and I think he'll just even look better, and he'll just have more people on his side.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you just said is why I wouldn't say Enrique, because I think he already looks the best. Like right now, I think he's probably power ranked 1. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I got this cup here, he's already like near the top. Like we can't really fill it up much more. I'm thinking who's got like a couple drops in the cup, right? A couple drops in the cup would be Vincent Kompany if he can take down Inter Milan. With these injuries, he goes from, God, was it a good idea to hire this guy in the summer? I mean, he got Burnley relegated to, we were playing 4D chess and nobody else saw what we saw when we hired him. Excellent move. And everybody in the Bayern exec board is getting a $5 million bonus for the hire.
Yeah.
I think it would be Kompany if they can get it done.
Okay. If I don't agree with my predictions, and for some reason, if I get them wrong, which is rare, I would definitely. I understand the Kompany point. I agree to it. I think Unai Emery would look the best if he pulls it off.
I was going to ask that as a mini question. Villa beat PSG, but Arsenal beat Real Madrid. Which manager looks better, Unai Emery or Mikel Arteta? Put your hate aside for a second. I know it's hard for you.
This is painful. I think if Mikel Arteta doesn't win off some like corner kick, like it's like a 1-0 on both legs, and Saliba heads the ball in, and if he wins off like we were the better team, I think Mikel Arteta will probably look better. But if Arteta wins through how he usually wins sometimes, through some bullshit, excuse my language, but like a corner kick, for example, and Aston Villa like just like manages to score multiple goals and beats PSG, I think Unai Emery would take the cake there. I think he would look better. But yeah.
I agree with your logic 100%. If that's how it goes down, yes. Also, the aura of beating Real Madrid is better than the aura of beating PSG because PSG have never won. Right.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
I would be pissed. The guys who own the competition, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, if Arsenal won? I mean, look, I don't know the history of Arsenal in European theater, right?
It's not good. Sorry.
It's not good, but that's why I think this is one of their most impressive results, certainly in recent history, right? You want to go back to like Thierry Henry. I'm sure they had some great wins back then too, but I'm just talking like last 10 years where it's been like doom and effing gloom in the Champions League, and honestly in the Europa League, where they haven't beat anybody. They lost to Villarreal, Olympiacos. I think there was another team in there that wasn't very good that beat them. Yeah, this would be like turning a new leaf, and I think this would put trust back in the Arteta project to do it with these players out. That'd be big.
If Arsenal wins, no matter what, like even if they win off some like corner kick, for example, 1-0, I think Arteta just saved his job for next season at least. I think if he beats Madrid, he's got that guaranteed, in my opinion.
Yeah. If Arsenal finished second and he beats Madrid and has Arsenal in a semifinal of the Champions League, he just got 1 year more on his contract.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even if it is Stoke City ball.
100%. Stoke City ball. Okay. That's a throwback.
Stoke City ball.
Shaqiri.
Dude, every time I see the Arteta Stoke City memes, bro, it brings a tear to my eye. A tear of laughter and happiness every single time. This is some of my favorites. But all right, guys. Those are the comprehensive, I would say, predictions for the Champions League quarterfinals, which are kicking off in like literally, I don't know, 18 hours or something like that. So we're leaving this to the last second, but hopefully you guys will still take a lot of value from this video. And yeah, please bookmark it, come back and see which one of us was more on point with how we see these games going down. Man, I really appreciate you coming on the channel. I'm going to plug all your stuff down below. Guys, please give him a subscribe and let us know if you want him to come back on Deadball TV, maybe for another UCL video. Maybe, I don't know, we get into international football a little bit. Maybe you do a Gio Reyna deep dive. I mean, we could do any Gio Reyna video essay. I mean, I cannot wait to go into the history of the Reina Berhalter saga. We can bring it back to relevance in the YouTube sphere. No, but for real, guys, please give Nabhuto a subscribe and follow him on social media. I'll put the links to everything down in the description. If you're listening on streaming platforms, give the podcast a 5-star rating. If you're watching on YouTube, drop a like in the video. Hit subscribe for more Champions League football here on Double TV. We appreciate you guys for watching. We will see y'all in the next one.